actually in the screen?
Yep, you're right in the bullseye middle. And it's recording. I don't like.
Why?
Because you're not smiling or anything.
Well, I'm not ready to shoot yet. Hey there everyone, FG again. So when you decide to go off-roading, you never really know what you're going to run into. Here we nearly ran into a caterpillar. Fellow was out, contractor, with his machine here, taking care of some repairs that the roads needed, and we came rolling up and it was pretty well blocked, as you'll see in the footage there. So he was very nice, waved us through. And it was funny, as we're coming by, he's like basically frantically motioning. So I stop and roll the window down. He goes, "Hey, can you give me a lift to my pickup truck?" We're assuming he was getting ready to take his break for lunch, as it was about 1:30, as well as I recall, and we gave him a ride over to his pickup, and what to our amazement appears right next to his truck, but a windmill farm. So here we have some nice gigantic behemoths just sitting there very slowly rotating. The director thought it'd be really funny to see if she could get a joking kind of a photo shot, so she had me stand and she lined up the angle where it looked like my finger was actually touching the point of the windmill. Speaking of never knowing what you're going to run into, every once in a while you'll run into a bridge that's not in the best of repair.
You're good. You're perfectly lined up. You're good. Come on. Come on. Oh. That was nothing.
If you take a look at a couple of these shots, the director jumped out and took some video from the front of the truck. The first video didn't really end up being a whole lot, as you can see. The hole wasn't actually, I guess, as deep as either of us had assumed. Second case, though, was a little more sketchy. If you look at the photo there, you'll see there's a large piece of timber which is somehow broken loose and fallen into a large erosion hole there. And if you look towards the right side a little bit, you'll see a piece of wood which has a much different color.
Come this way a little bit more. Keep coming. Come this way.
I carry a couple of 4x4s and some 2x6s along with me just for such types of things, and also to act as pads for the jack if we had to jack on some softer sand. And you can see here that we ended up using it for a little bit of bridging for the truck to be able to get over this side. And on the opposite wheel, as you'll see in the video, the approach to the bridge was perfectly fine. That side was completely undamaged, and then you got over to here, and I guess rushing water came through from some angle and ate away a good portion of it, which made me a little concerned about the integrity of the bridge abutments. But we were able to pass over it no problem. The truck lurched pretty good, but the bridge didn't collapse, and actually I didn't even feel the bridge move, so it looked like more it was probably just a matter of somebody coming in with a grader and maybe dumping a yard or so of sand and then packing it in there to refill that hole, and should be pretty good. But since this is a secondary lumber access road, I have no idea who, when, or even if anyone will bother to come back to repair it. So, well, it is what it is. We made our way through and kept on rolling. So we had headed out on Monday morning. I'm going to say I believe it was about 8:30. It took us about an hour in transit on standard asphalt paved roads, and then hit the trails that we were looking for. We ended up spending most of the day bouncing around in the dirt, several different paths. As I'd shown earlier, the Windmills. We found some camps far back in the woods that had access trails. We went through those. Some power lines. We ended up going up to see Harris Dam. Came back down through there and ended up going across again on Brochu Road, which is still a trail too. It's dirt. They just call it a road, which ended up being much better than one of our earlier adventures. The first year I had the truck in 2018, and we ended up going through an area called Dyer's Road, which turned out to be quite dire indeed. It was not really even worthy of the name of a road, more like a trail. Anyway, a tale for another time. So Brochu Road basically runs parallel to Dyer's and comes back in and actually joins to it at its far end over by Moosehead Lake, where the road is a lot wider and in much better condition. So this last piece of clip here is actually just us coming back into town. This is actually over at Moosehead Lake. So until next time, everybody enjoy. Get her out, get her muddy. FG signing out.